Ooh, it's a little close to the microphone on that one. Hello, my name is Eliza Sylvia, and I am currently a graduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences Convocation ceremony this afternoon. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are red. The University of Guelph crest that you see on the curtains behind me and on the front of your convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links to the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, and to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance in agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere cosas, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall is also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will herald the start of the procession of graduands, the students who are coming to graduate here today. This will be followed by the arrival of the mace, leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, the beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the chancellor and president, members of the administration and honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. The name reader will present the scholars to the president and chancellor by degree category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed, and technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The president will greet each student at center stage, and a photograph will be taken. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduands has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the chancellor will close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all of the platform party has processed out of the hall. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs are hosting a social media program developed especially for Convocation. Please share your photos, advice, and memories with graduating students by joining us on social media and using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduands on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them today. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please rise for the graduating class.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Let us pause for just a moment and reflect with our whole selves on our unique journeys, our distinct callings, and our place in this complex and mysterious world. In this moment, we acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph now stands. We offer our respect to their Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors. We remember that the world as we experience it is not the world as it has always been. Furthermore, it is not the world as it must always be. In this moment, we give thanks for those friendships that have blessed us over the course of our studies. We are grateful for those who have supported us and held us up, for the journey has been long and the traveling hard. I invite you now to embrace a short silence, and in your own way, be it through prayer or remembrance or thoughtful affirming, recognize that for which you are grateful. And as we open ourselves to a new season of life, may the knowledge that we have attained here be coupled with wisdom, colored with compassion, and marked with humility. May we embrace each new opportunity in ways that honor creation, that foster community, and that defends the dignity of all people. And may the mystery of life and each new moment bring us laughter and delight as we seek to be agents of grace and peace and hope for this world. Amen. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I am delighted to officially open this 2017 University of Guelph Convocation ceremony and welcome everyone here. President Baccarino, Chair of the Board of Governors, Kevin Golding, members of the board, honorary fellows, faculty, staff, family, and friends of the graduates. Today, as we celebrate the achievements of our graduating students, I'd like to offer a particular welcome to today's honorary degree recipient, Mary Ann Chambers, who will be introduced to you shortly. My name is Martha Billis, and I have the honor of serving as Chancellor here at the University of Guelph. And what an honor it is to be here today, back at the University of Guelph, my alma mater. I think back to when I was in your shoes, proud to be a Mac Institute graduate and anxious to take on the next challenge around the corner. Problem is, we do not always know what's coming or how we're going to get there. Today, I want to instill in you a belief my Dean, Margaret McCready, instilled in me years ago. She was full of advice, but most often said, "Remember, ladies, you are MAC girls, and MAC girls can do anything." And she was right. I stand before you today to proudly and confidently tell you that the education I received here gave me the wherewithal to go out and strive beyond what I thought I was capable of. Since the days of its founding colleges, the University of Guelph has been a leader in practical education focused on the whole person. The university has fostered an environment that encourages its community of students to aim higher, to make things better, to be more productive, to turn preconceived notions on their head, to make a difference, to improve life. My education opened up doors and offered windows on the world I could not have imagined. Half a century later, those things are still happening here at this fantastic institution. Graduands, your windows are waiting. It's your turn. Your turn to make a difference and improve life for ourselves and for others. I know you can do it because you are, after all, a University of Guelph graduate, and you can do anything. Good luck to you all. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the great honor and privilege of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. Graduates, this is your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done, well deserved. Think fast. Think fast. We've all heard that expression. You don't often hear anyone tell you to think slow. Think slow. But my main message today is twofold: think fast and think slow. As a psychologist, I'm inclined and interested in cognitive sciences and neurosciences, and speaking as well as a parent of university-age children, I believe your minds are fundamentally different from those of your parents' generation. We see how you absorb information, how you interact with and through information technology. Young people today are very, very good at coping with lots of information and shifting their attention accordingly. Fundamentally, your brains have adapted to a very fast-paced world. Today, we are navigating a river of knowledge, one that's growing larger and flowing faster all the time. New ideas are coming at us at an absolutely unprecedented pace. New innovations, new ways to connect the dots, new ways to understand this world. We need to process more and more and more information in the same amount of time. We need to think faster. You might call that fast thinking reactive thinking. Reactive thinking is a kind of tactical thinking. It's what helps a driver navigate the twists and turns of the road on a moment-to-moment basis. But of course, there's another kind of thinking. Reflective thinking or slow thinking takes a more strategic view, a broader view. Not that I'm suggesting you think more slowly in the literal sense. I'm talking about a different kind of thought, different way of thinking, different channel than tactical or reactive. In our fast-paced world today, universities are increasingly important places for both kinds of thinking. Reactive or fast thinking that addresses the now, and there's plenty happening in the now. But also reflective thinking that rises above the here and now to take the long view and consider the broader context, to consider tomorrow or even the day after. As students at the University of Guelph, you have benefited during the past few years from an environment that has challenged your thinking, an environment that nurtures freedom of thought, nurtures expression and inquiry, an environment that promotes and supports openness to new ideas, one that invites varied perspectives, different perspectives on a problem or opportunity. We've tried to encourage you to exercise both reactive and reflective thinking. We've stressed the kind of thinking that enables you not just to provide the right answers, but also to ask the right questions, of course. We've looked to nurture thinking that is disciplined and thinking that is interdisciplinary, that draws upon diverse experiences, diverse points of view. That kind of thinking is ever more important in a world where the challenges and opportunities we face are larger and truly more complex than ever. Now, big problems and big opportunities need lots of minds thinking together on solutions. Not just like minds, but unlike minds. Minds from varied backgrounds, from varied perspectives. You know, there's a great proverb that I love. It's an African proverb that goes something like this. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You're about to explore and discover the next phase of your lives, including, I hope, finding ways to improve life for others around you and in that wider world. So go together, think fast, and think slow. Thank you very much.
Madam Chancellor, on the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it's a great honor to present to you the candidate Mary Ann Chambers for the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Mary Ann Chambers has demonstrated a long-standing commitment to accessibility and inclusiveness in higher education and to improving lives for young women and racialized communities in Canada and around the world. Born in Jamaica, Ms. Chambers arrived in 1976 in Canada, where she became a banking executive while pursuing university education in Toronto. She served on the Board of Governors of the University of Toronto, was president of the Canadian Club of Toronto, and received the 2003 Jamaican Prime Minister's Medal of Appreciation for service to Jamaica. In 2003, she was elected to the Legislative Assembly of Ontario, where she served as Minister of Training, Colleges and Universities and Minister of Children and Youth Services. Ms. Chambers worked to improve access to post-secondary education, expand educational opportunities, and implement programs to help immigrants, youth, and children. She has sponsored student scholarships and schools in Ontario and Jamaica, and has served on boards of organizations promoting health and education. A member of the Order of Ontario, she has received the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond and Golden Jubilee medals. As a member of the University of Guelph's Board of Governors, she offered invaluable leadership while chairing a working group on responsible investing. This honorary degree from the University of Guelph recognizes the contributions of Mary Ann Chambers to post-secondary education and to a tolerant and inclusive society. I ask you, Madam Chancellor, to confer upon Mary Ann Chambers the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws. Congratulations. I wasn't given a note to invite her. I am pleased to invite Dr. Marianne Chambers to now give the convocation address. Marianne.
Chancellor Martha Billis, Dr. Martha Billis, President, Vice Chancellor, and Chair of Senate, Franco Vaccarino, Chair of the Board of Governors, Kevin Golden. I am grateful and humbled that you, the University Senate, and the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences have given me the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of today's graduates, along with the privilege of sharing the honoris causa space at the University of Guelph with so many individuals for whom I have the greatest respect and admiration. To the families and friends of the graduating students, and to the administration of this very special university, the staff, faculty, governors, and members of the University Senate, you are providing evidence that we were created to be of value to society, to be good to each other, and to be good for each other. I thank you personally, and I thank you on behalf of students whose potential might be left unchallenged or unrealized without you. Thank you for the possibilities you nurture. Last year, when I had the honor of addressing Convocation, I began by telling graduating students that disciplines of study such as public policy, international development, political science, family relations, nutrition, geography, psychology, sociology, criminal justice, anthropology are entirely relevant to the quality of life we all seek to enjoy. I told that graduating class that the world needs them. And I concluded my remarks with the sentiments of the Persian poet Rumi. And still, after all this time, the sun has never said to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with love like that. It lights up the sky. Well, graduates, I feel like that's all I need to say to you today. I really need you. The world really needs you to light up the sky through your love for humanity and your interest in social justice. I know this is important to you because you chose the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences for your studies at this university. According to the University of Guelph Act of 1964, the objects and purposes of your university include the intellectual, social, moral, and physical development of its members and the betterment of society. You might also be aware that your university's definition of sustainability has been adopted from the 1987 definition established by the World Commission on Environment and Development, which states, simply put, sustainability means meeting the needs of today's generation without compromising the needs of future generations. At its broadest scope, it encompasses economy, society, and environment. When I ask high school students what they plan to do in university, they usually tell me either the academic subject or the discipline that interests them, or the profession or kind of work they would like to pursue after university. The intent is that university will prepare them for successful careers. I have not heard anyone say that their objective in pursuing a university education is their intellectual, social, moral, and physical development and the betterment of society. Yet, I do believe you have grown in these ways. Incidentally, you look very different to how you look at student orientation. I believe you have become more conscious of societal issues. At university, you have been exposed to issues beyond those with which you have been familiar before you arrived here. And I'm hoping you have been thinking about how you will use that consciousness to make your impact on the world. I hope that you have acquired an appreciation of the importance of using your voice to speak about issues of fundamental social justice, especially when the voices of those most negatively impacted seem not to be heard. Because I think that is a responsibility, an obligation that we must all embrace in order to achieve and protect the quality of life that we seek to enjoy, not just for ourselves, but also for others. It has long been observed that societies are only as strong as their most vulnerable members. And you would know that quality of life indices measure not only individual experiences, but also the more macro conditions of human development. Factors such as the robustness of healthcare systems, investments in education, life expectancy, income equality, and crime. According to the 2016 United Nations Human Development Report, during the past quarter of a century, there has been impressive growth and progress on many fronts of human development, but gains have not enriched every human life. The report identifies achievements as reduced poverty and hunger, decreased mortality, advances in technology, increased people's participation, and improved access to basic social services. The challenges identified in the report are linking deprivations, deepening inequalities, widespread conflicts and violent extremism, gender inequality, people displacement, water stress, natural disasters, climate change, and pandemics. But perhaps most important for you to understand is what the report says about the hopes we have if we build on what we have achieved as a foundation for the future. According to the report, rapid progress is possible. People's voices can become a more powerful force, expanding human ingenuity and creativity, continuing the progress in women's empowerment, increasing awareness of sustainability and stronger global commitments. In reflecting on the current political landscape, the concept of Make America Great Again must be a terrifying thought for people whose past experiences have defied any definition of human rights and human dignity, like those for whom, for far too long, had been deprived of the right to vote, or who lived in constant fear of race-based apprehension and incarceration, or worse. Or like my sister, who as a little girl was refused service at a restaurant in Miami that my mother, who was not Black, had often eaten at when she was there by herself. All of those atrocities and more existing with the permission of the laws of the land of the free. So the hope that emanates from being able to build on the achievements and progress that have been made must not be undermined by complacency. It would be dangerous to assume that progress already achieved cannot be eroded or reversed. Beware of proclamations that favor so-called Canadian values. Open your hearts and minds to becoming more aware of the history and current reality of Canada's Indigenous peoples. Appreciate that the rest of us are either immigrants or descendants of immigrants, fortunate to be on this land, and recognize that markings on maps are man-made boundaries that become much less significant when stressed by human failings or when made irrelevant by human achievements and technologies that have global reach. So I encourage you to find and pursue your passion. I hope your dreams come true. And I ask that you recognize the importance not only of doing well, but also of doing good. Use your life to make this world a better place. Champion human rights, equity, and diversity wherever and in whatever situations you happen to find yourselves. Appreciate and encourage the right to advocate for fairness, cultivate initiative, and foster innovation and creativity. Embrace thoughtful and informed risk-taking. Celebrate self-awareness, assertiveness, and self-esteem. And please, please, always nurture a sense of the possible. I think I've said enough. It's time now for you to light up the sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chambers, for sharing your wisdom, for contributing to Canada and the University of Guelph through your generous citizenship, and for lastly, inspiring us all. Thank you. Now it's my great pleasure. I am the Provost and Vice President of the University of Guelph, Vice President Academic, and it's my pleasure to ask the graduating class to please rise. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please sit down?
Good afternoon. I'm Gwen Chapman, and I'm the Dean of the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, and it is my great pleasure to be here today to read the names of the people who are graduating this afternoon. I'm sure that all of the members in the audience, the family, the friends, are very excited to be here, proud, perhaps a little relieved, but definitely happy to see your graduate walk across the stage. You may want to express your emotions in some audible manner at that magic moment, and we encourage you to do that. But we do ask that you hold general applause until the end of each degree group, at which time I will invite you to applaud. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences, that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors. Charles Nana Amponsa. Jasmine Apap. Kate Austin. Alexa Leslie Avalar. Kristina Olivgovna Aksanova. Emma Baker. Nicole Baker. Noah Bass with distinction. Yeah. Matthew Philip Bate with distinction. Kyle Conrad Birch with distinction. Allison Elizabeth Brown. Jessica Buck with distinction. Michelle Buddha with distinction. Caitlin Bulligan. Isabel Charlotte Butler with distinction. Dana Cardiff. Andrew Ian Clark. Mary Beth Brewster Clark with distinction. Jessica Corrigan with distinction. Sarah DeCarteret Corey. Tyler Lane Cressis. Brianne Nicole Dorowski. Rachel Johanna Calfern Derrick. Andrea De Angelis. Raquela Stephanie Denardis with distinction. Philip DeCecco with distinction. Deanna Maria Dittrich. Lauren Christina Dusty. Alexandria Christine Elms with distinction. Emily Catherine Farquhar. Lindsay Rachel Faskin with distinction. Juliana Ferraro. Rachel Marie Figuera with distinction. Victoria Francesca Filippelli. Jennifer Christine Finney with distinction. Natalie Gaspar. Brianne Laurie Gafer with distinction. Taylor Lindsay Goodenough with distinction. Ian Mitchell Gordon. Taylor Paul Gordon. Pavel Groen. Whitney Rachel Hall. Joshua Edward Hancock. Madison Rebecca Harker. Quinn Noel Held with distinction. Emily Ann Lieberman Hill with distinction. Hannah Catherine Hube. Kelsey Laura Hiodo. Brittany Christine Irulu. Jonathan David Irvin. Congratulations. Keely Eliza Kavik Kearns with distinction. Matthew Kinnear. Taylor Marie Kirkbride with distinction. Jessica Nicole Labarge with distinction. Spencer David Lalowette. Jacqueline Nicole Langio with distinction. Robin Ann Latour with distinction. Thomas Paul James Marco. Curtis McComb. Sean Earl Donald McCullough. Jacob McGregor with distinction. Grace Evelyn McKenzie with distinction. Kristen Vanessa Mendonca. Connor Milne. Audrey Monchamp. Luke Edward Muchmore. Sarah Catherine Nickel. Emisha Esther Orose. Ashlyn Catherine Ostertag. Kristen Leanne Page with distinction. Christine Aaron Peterson. Kristen Joyce Pelletier. Mark Philpott. Jennifer Pogson with distinction. Dushika Rajadurai. Caitlin Lee Regier. Jonathan Riccio. Ursula Maria Rennie with distinction. Shelby Madison Roper. Eliana Danielle Rosenblum with distinction. Mackenzie Ross. Bailey Eleanor Rubinoff with distinction. Riley Hannah Sauvé. Kate Elise Skavink. Brianna Joan Shannon. Alexandra Carolyn Schifrin with distinction. Emily Mira Shin. Ryan Daniel Steele. Nicole Gilda Stocco with distinction. Thomas Joseph Stone. Nicole Ellen Taylor with distinction. Mary Catherine Toth with distinction. Claire Diana May Townsend Plant. Andrew Lloyd Train with distinction. Dimitri Alexander Trehalis with distinction. Alexandra Aurora Vieira. Emily Marie Vincent. Taylor Ashley Wark. Alexis Elizabeth Westwater. Lindsay Violet Ewan. Olivia Zarowski. Please join me in congratulating these recipients of the Bachelor of Arts Honors degree. Madam Chancellor, Mr. President, I now have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Social and Applied Human Sciences that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts General. Antoy Glenn Alexander. Amanda Christine Anaka. Sarah Caitlin Appleton. Angela Michelle Bain. Gabriel Broderick. Jonathan Canito. Benjamin Caranchi. Emily Clapperton. Alyssa Cloutier. Kelsey Ann Coughlin. Sarah Jennifer Diocampo. Johanna Egan. Emma Fang. Megan Fess. Scott Peter Gagnon. Jane Elizabeth Gallagher. Erica Alicia Gates. Courtney Sierra Hedgedus. Thank you. Alan Isaacowski. Matthew Alexander Lee. Whoops. Catherine and Shad Lockies. Danielle Lombardi. Justin Thomas Mayo. Heather Colleen McGuire. Christina Minicucci. Michael Derek Morris. Tori Jacqueline Reed. Anna Lori Ricker. Jamie Rita Sellinger. Delucini Sevagnana Santharam. Celeste Staglon. Jason Todd. Caitlin Clara Vanden de Straten with distinction. Michael John Verhey. Jordan Watkins. Please join me in congratulating these recipients of the Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts General.
Madam Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program, but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduates not present.
Well, graduates, you did it. Congratulations. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you now to the Griffin alumni family. As you can imagine, this is a growing family. This week, more than 3,400 new graduates are joining the University of Guelph alumni. University of Guelph alumni now number more than 125,000 graduates around the world. And as you can imagine, we're all very proud of your accomplishments here at the University of Guelph and really do look forward to seeing how the foundations that you've developed here as students will continue to support you in your years ahead and in your futures. We want to celebrate your achievements, your successes, and really do hope that you'll stay in touch. And remember, you're always welcome here. Graduates, you've made, I'm sure, many memories here, including today's ceremony. And remember this as well. You are a student for a short time, and you're a Griffin forever. So congratulations. Well done. So this concludes our formal convocation ceremony. College Dean will host a reception for all graduates and their guests in Creelman Hall, right next door here. This is really an opportunity to mingle, congratulate the graduates, and we do hope that you can attend. And now, the final word is from our Chancellor.
Convocation is dismissed.
Congratulations, everybody. We know you're going to go out and do amazing things. We hope you'll come back and share your stories on a regular basis, maybe at homecoming or alumni weekend or just anytime you feel like it. I'm going to ask the graduates to turn around and look at their family and friends and give them a big shout out for getting you here. Turn it up. And then if you do us a favor, we'll ask you to head out through the doors on the sides here so we can prepare the hall. Please enjoy time with your family and friends. Get lots of photos so that you have the memories in picture. And then please return the gowns and hoods to the tent so that the next group can look as good as you do. Thank you.